Hello and good morning. I am Michelle Bohm, and this is The Journey, brought to you by I've Decided. I'm here today with my co-host, Reagan. Say hello, Reagan.
Hi.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
And our guest, Jeannie Quick, also a friend of I've Decided, a friend of ours, and we have a lot to talk about today. But first, we are coming off a very exciting week. We have a lot to be thankful for, especially Reagan. Tell them what happened to you
I just got married on Thanksgiving Day, so that was very fun, very exciting, and I'm kind of coming down off my high right now. So that was fun. And then the following day, Leslie Tyler Design celebrated the launch of our home store. So we had an open house at our home. So forgive me if I seem a little bit tired and sluggish. I'll be back at it.
I can't even believe you're here.
I'm operating just on a few cylinders.
I actually thought maybe I should call Reagan to make sure
just
she
to remind
survived.
me. Yeah, no, I am here. I am here. So.
Well, that is a very busy week for you, and I'm assuming a lot of preparation went into that.
A lot, many months of preparing and re-preparing and trying to do all of that. So I'd love to get into it with Miss Jeannie here, because I think, is like the queen of preparation, in my opinion.
She is, yes. And preparation is our weekly winning word this week. So we thought, who do we need to bring on here to teach us how to prepare for our life besides Jeannie Quick? That's the first person I think of when I think of planning ahead.
Yes.
Because you're constantly coaching me to plan ahead.
Right.
Through
Follow
your
goals.
And you started a company. I would call it more of a movement. You started a movement to really start to get people to think about dreaming outside the lines. And that's what you called it, Dream Outside the Lines.
Yeah.
So tell us about what inspired you to create that in the first place.
Well, it's kind of been about 3 years in the making.
And then a lifetime in the making, right?
Right. And I did my first vision board with another close friend and I just felt like this is the way that you should start everything. I mean, even kids and but, it starts all out with a dream. Even when you're a kid, you dream about what you're going to be when you grow up and that. So, and then once that dream ends up going out and it becomes a vision. Mm-hmm. So then it's out there and okay, what are you going to do with this vision and everything? So if you go ahead and you put it into a dream board, which you brought yours here.
This is my vision board that I created with Jeannie over a year ago, right? I think it's been over a year,
And you're working on next year.
Working on my next year
vision. Because I firmly believe you definitely need to have one every year. I mean, even maybe every 6 months or small little ones or whatever, but you're definitely, because that's your long-term goals and that you want to have one major one for next year, but then each month you're going to have smaller ones that you're going to do. Yeah. But with that dream, then you put that down. And once you put it down, it's like Kim says, put that stake in the ground. Yeah. So once you put that down, then you're going to have goals. So then you're going to measure those goals down. And then how you do those goals is going to be your time management. So we just go through each one of those steps in the program, the workshop, and I just keep following up with you and that, because, if you stop and think back where you were 5 years ago,
I don't even recognize myself, right?
And where you are right now, those 5 years, where you're going to be another 5 years unless you plan for it. Yeah. You've got to plan for this next year. I don't care if it's pay off debt or my husband's getting close to retirement. So that's kind of my big thing right now is pay off debt, because I want to do fun things, and everything. But that's what you really need to do. And my office, that one whole wall is nothing but dream boards. Yeah. And when you get down, because you're going to have up and down days. So when you get kind of down, you just sit there and you look at that and see your dreams and how they're materializing and everything. Yeah. And if you want to, it's really nice to put this in a frame. So as you complete one of those dreams and everything on that glass frame, you can put done. Done that.
Check mark.
Yeah, check mark.
That's very satisfying. That's a good idea.
So you can feel like you've accomplished something. Yeah,
absolutely.
So
it doesn't look as ratty as mine, because this sits this sits right above my desk, where whenever I'm working, I am even like subconsciously
seeing it,
getting that. Yeah. Subconsciously touching that vision all the time. And when I took the workshop, the Dream Warriors workshop, the biggest thing that I got out of it was that idea that you have to constantly touch that vision. Because I think we make goals, and goals are great, but the vision is that emotional attachment to the goal that actually feels good when you achieve it.
It's your why. It's your big why.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Why are you paying off debt?
Right.
Why are you retiring your husband? Why are you doing any of these things? There's a reason behind it, and that's what you have to get down into is why you're doing it. You need to put yours in a frame. You carry this around, and so many of them, and then some of these, like I said, this is last year's.
Right.
So there's probably a lot of these things on here that you've already done.
Yeah.
So put it in a frame and you have a check mark on it or a circle and done it, or what, and the date you done it maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So you can do that. You can create so many things. And if you look out there, even a calendar or Post-its, that's a perfect example. You'll see all these Post-its that people have. That's a vision board. It's just when they pull that poster off, then they've done it.
Yeah, that's great. And to me, I've never been one to really set goals because there's not, I don't know, it doesn't excite me. Like, okay,
writing it
paying
down.
off debt or getting healthy or something like that. It's like, that feels
Or you
like
say
work.
it. Well, you say it, and then, but if you don't see it constantly, then it's just, and that sacrifice, because I'm sure that a lot of these goals require sacrifice of some kind. If it's time, if it's money, if it's, paying off debt. I'm sure there's times that you'd wish that you could just let me go out to do this or that, and I have to remind myself. So I think the visual, those images, I think, at least.
And it's that 10-10-10 rule where, in 10, minutes, it's not going to be that much, but then in the 10 weeks, and then 10 months, that 10 months, look how close you are to that year.
Right.
So each one of them are going to have a different feeling. That 10 minutes is not going to have a big feeling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But also, when you accomplish these things, if it's a small one or big one or whatever, and pick small ones because you'll get them quicker, and then you'll feel like, oh gosh, I paid off a charge card.
Go to the
I
gym
did
3
this.
times this week. And
Right,
then
there we go.
I'm
And that-
immediate.
but then some way, and it doesn't have to be food, but reward yourself. Go to get your nails done, or have a pedicure or something like that. So you feel like there is an accomplishment at the end of that.
Right. And I have to have that emotional attachment, or I get distracted.
Right.
By anything and everything.
Yeah.
Because there isn't that, like, okay, I want to get healthy. So I want to get healthy. Why? So that I can look better in a dress? No, so that I can be there for my kids, so that I have the energy, so that I have, that's a why. That's a vision.
Yeah.
Yes.
The getting healthy is just like a brick in that foundation. But if you're not constantly going for the vision, then you're just like, well, I don't want to get up and go work out because there isn't a reason to do it.
Right.
But after you work out and everything, think of how much better you feel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, afterwards, or it's like when you're out walking with your boys or whatever like that. Hey, I can keep up with them.
Yes.
Where maybe 2 months before that, you were like, oh, slow down, I'm coming, So it's just, and you live longer.
Oh, definitely. You're a lot happier, too, along the
you
way,
are.
because we talk about the journey. The journey is the struggle piece of it, but if you are constantly rewarding yourself and ticking those little goals off, then that keeps you motivated.
And it's like your plan.
You need accountability person too. So
that's why I have you, Jeannie. I don't need an
not there,
accountability. I got you.
yeah, if I'm not there all the time, you need somebody. Like Kim, she runs every morning. She has somebody that calls her and says, "Okay, let's get out here. Where are you?" So you need somebody, and of course, I'm always there. And that, but get yourself somebody to kind of buy into your dream with you.
Right.
And it's going to hold you accountable too. Not just going to, make you feel good. Like,
we tend to talk about that a lot in our family of, what's going to happen when we achieve this family goal. We're going to celebrate in this way, but more, what does that mean for the rest of our life? Once we've checked that goal.
Well,
off the
also
list.
too, when you did this board, you told me that you set your boys down and they did a vision
Made
board.
them do a vision board
So
too.
that is
like an
great.
awesome, end of year, cookie exchange. Like now I'm like, let me invite all of my friends over and we'll make vision boards.
good.
I mean, that's an awesome to me end of year, because everybody talks about resolutions and sometimes people don't buy into them, like, oh, well, it's just, another month or whatever. But I do think that there's something about the end of the year, the beginning of another one that really kind of sets yourself up. So yes, you've given me all types
You
of
inspired her
encouragement.
to
Yes,
do
you
this.
Your
did.
daughter might be a little young for this.
She might be. She might be for this, but at least, just having, that family to come together. I think
Yeah.
it was so nice that you have family goals
Yeah.
and not just
Yeah, we do.
you, not just, your husband, but, as a family, what are we going to do? And I think that.
And then it doesn't, like, I make them make mantras and we tape them up all over the house. So it doesn't look so weird when it's just my mantras. Theirs is like, I want to be a YouTube sensation. Okay.
Right. But then, it reminds them, what are you going to do today to help you get to that goal?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it just
See
makes
how
it more.
contagious it
It
is.
is. It's absolutely contagious. And it does, like, to me, it's a fun craft project, but it's also like a nice reflective time. At this time of the year, that is what I'm always excited for a new year, but I enjoy looking back over the year, being able to check those things off my vision board, and then planning for the next year, which that was the second piece of the workshop that you taught us. It's not just about having a great vision. You have to be able to get there.
Yes.
And how are you going to get there? You're going to set your goals. Okay, now you've got your goals. What is your action plan going to be? What is, and I know time management is extremely important in that.
Right.
And you've given me so many time management tips because that's what I struggle with. I don't know about you, Reagan.
Like a
Time management
notorious
is like-
procrastinator, yes.
Yes, yes.
If I have a 24-hour day left, I
Yes,
can do it, right?
I can make that happen.
Right.
I got
I
2
can
hours
build
to do
Rome.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, it should only take 24 hours. Yeah. So time management, I very much struggle with that. And that was the second half of the workshop that we did. You really talked to us about planning your day and the little tips and tricks that you can do to, take control, to prepare for your day so that you're ready to reach those goals. Can you share with our viewers some of the special things that you taught us about?
Well, one of the things is I like to have that quiet time in the morning, and I call my time, breakfast with Jesus. So, I just lay out there kind of like what's going on in my day and kind of itemize it. But the night before, I kind of prepare for that next day, just like on Sunday, I prepare for the whole week and what's the most important, to you. And then you start chewing them off one at a time and that. And so at the end of the week, you can see your achievements and that. But, this, you have to stay focused. And of course, your things that are your must-do things, you want to do them when you have the most energy. So most of us, seem more energetic, earlier in the morning. So after my hour or so, with Breakfast with Jesus. Then I start tackling those things that need to be done. There's a book that's Eat the Frog.
Oh, yeah, I love that book.
Yes. So
Which,
anyway.
If you haven't read the book, we probably, because Eat the Frog
Eat the
sounds
frog,
like a weird thing.
what? I was like, yes.
So Eat the Frog means if you woke up every morning and you had to eat a frog at some point during the day, don't care when you do it, the smart person will eat the frog the first thing they do when they get up so that they don't have to sit there and worry about
Eating the frog.
Eating that frog.
all day, right?
Yeah.
You just
So-
hold your nose and you eat
and
that
eat the
frog.
and then you don't have to
So-
do it again till the next morning.
Right.
Right.
So you go ahead and you do those things that have to be done, and then you tackle the next ones. Now, in this last time that we were together, I added, where you had 3 favorite colors.
Yes.
And you have your life's interruption list, and that, so you write down everything that is going to keep you from your goals and that, or even achieve you to get to your goals and that. So anyway, and let's say, okay, my 3 colors are green, purple, and orange. Okay. And green, of course, being a realtor, so that's
Green is
money.
money.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, those things,
So
the
you put your
context.
income producing tasks
Yes.
there, which
Yeah.
makes
Makes
perfect
my
sense.
green.
Yes.
So that's going to be the number 1 things, my eat my frog things.
Okay.
And then my next ones are going to be purple. So then that's the next ones. And then you should do, and then that you want to do, it's your wants, that's going to be at the end. So sometimes maybe not all of my wants get done in that day, but hopefully by the end of the week or whatever. And then again, as you do these things, you can even put in that reward,
How am I gonna celebrate with this?
Go to
Yeah.
lunch with your boys, or pick them up for school, or take them lunch to school, or some little thing, So, which makes it kind of nicer for your life. Also, go on to lunch with your husband or something.
Yeah, that's always nice.
So, but you have to plan that. That's time management and everything to get back to all of your goals.
Absolutely. And I find that when you do hit those goals and you've
yeah.
you've looked at them along the way, it's so much more fun. I can remember a personal experience. I had worked on a major financial achievement goal and it was getting a promotion in my company. Worked on this for 5 years, and I would like come back and forth to it, usually around the first of the year when I was like planning my goals, like I'm going to hit that, I'm going to hit that, I'm going to hit that. Then I actually hit it. And I remember afterwards, I was like, oh, I thought it would be better. You know, I thought it would feel different. And it was because I didn't attach an emotion to it. Like when I achieve this, it's going to change this in my life. Like it's going to give me more time with my family, or the financial abundance is going to mean that we can do X, Y, and Z. I didn't attach those two things. So I missed that piece. And then I achieved this big goal, and it's like, it kind of falls flat.
Of everything that's on this board for last year, what do you feel was your biggest accomplishment that you've done? I can tell you what I think it is.
Well, the getting crystal, I have crystal clear on here a lot because I wasn't clear on the vision. So, and even after the class, like my mind just kept rolling that clarity. You need clarity on what you're searching for. So I have a lot of things of like, find your direction, make up your mind. You have to name it to claim it.
What to do.
Yeah. You got to pick a horse and ride it because I want all the horses.
Right.
So I definitely did that in the last year. I got a lot more clear on what I was looking for. But the biggest thing I accomplished, and when I made this vision board a year ago, there is no way that this was going to be possible, but I retired my husband 3 months later. Wow. And that was a goal that I had been working on since I was 20. And it didn't happen at all the way we thought it would. Yeah. You know, it ended up being something that we had to do right now when I said, I want to retire him by the time he's 40. And I had been saying that since I was 20. And we retired him at 38 and a half. So
but
it was like, but that was on here. I put it on
focused
here.
on what you did.
And in 3 months,
3 months. Wow.
Like, things moved out of the way and everything happened the way it was, and now he's there.
Yeah.
But when I made this board, that was not even something that I still thought that was going to be years down the road.
Well, Reagan, you just getting married and everything. What is one big goal you want to do this next year?
Oh, this next year. I feel like this year has been so full, so much. I don't want to mean piggyback, but we have a logistics business that we've been running, and the design business is more of our love. The logistics was kind of built out of necessity. Right. So that has always been something that we've talked about since I stopped working on the logistics side about 2.5 years ago when I got pregnant with my daughter. So for him to get off of that would be excellent. Yeah. So, I mean, if that happened in the next year, that would be amazing.
Get a poster board.
I know. I'm like, I'm going to go home right now and start. But no, I mean.
You're going to do my workshop.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry. Yes, of course. But tell us, when is your next workshop?
Yes.
I really don't have a date right now because I was kind of concentrating on our reset retreat, recharge.
And which is only for existing people that have
Dream
gone
Warriors.
through the workshop.
Once you take the Dream Outside the Line, the workshop and everything, then you become a Dream Warrior. So you're in a private Facebook page, where we can kind of talk back and forth and everything, because a lot of times what plays in Vegas stays in Vegas. So there's little things that we get emotional or whatever, and so you have to have that clarity. But and hopefully that is going to be the 10th if everything work out. It's a Friday evening and that, so it's kind of a plus thing. But I kind of thought I would kind of jump out there and do another one maybe before that and everything. You'll just have to go to Dream Outside the Line Facebook page and look for it. It'll be out there.
And you are always willing to help anyone that's, looking to do something like that just needs some clarity.
Right.
And then the action steps. And so even if there isn't a workshop right now, you are always willing to
if somebody, cannot get into that one or whatever, I will do personal ones. But you have to remember, it is going to be a 4-hour course. It's 2 hours 1 week. And then you have to go home, do homework, digest and everything. And then you come back the next week.
This isn't something I know it looks like I just slapped pictures on a poster board. But
No.
That's the easy part, just slapping them on there.
It's the thinking. Getting clarity. It takes a little bit of work. So even though this looks like a toddler did it, there was a lot of thought that went into that.
It does not.
And some of these, like even, I don't want you to do this, but sometimes you have a lot of white space, which yours is red, but you have room to put another little thing on there or something to add to it. So I've seen some of those.
Just keep going on top
there might only be 6 or 7 little things, and I'm thinking, that's all you have on there. But you can constantly keep putting stuff
Adding
on
to
there.
it.
Adding
Well,
stuff to
because
it,
your
yeah.
vision is something that doesn't change throughout.
And
I
it's
mean,
the journey,
it should
right?
change throughout the journey.
It is a journey.
It
Yes,
is.
it
It
is a
is.
journey.
It is.
So, speaking of the journey, we're out of time on our journey today. It always goes so
Wow, it
so
does.
fast, doesn't it?
Look up.
So, Reagan, I hope that you get some
Oh, yes.
relaxation
Thank
before
you.
our next show.
Thank
but
you. Thank you.
otherwise, we will definitely see you coming back here in January, first Tuesday in January.
Absolutely.
Jeannie, it's always a pleasure to have you whenever.
Great
you
to be
know,
here.
Yes.
She's always the person I call when I'm not sure what I should be doing today. I call Jeannie, my accountability buddy.
And we will be looking for that workshop.
Workshop, yes.
January. I'm going to
Dream
try to
outside
nudge
the
her
line.
into
Can't-
doing
can't
that. I'm
wait.
like, December or
wait.
January, either one. We'll be ready for you.
So follow Jeannie on Dream Outside the Lines on Facebook and find out more about the I've Decided community. We are always looking for more people to join this movement, get excited about preparing for the new success that you plan to have in 2020. Again, I'm Michelle Bohm,
I'm Reagan Leslie.
and we are so happy to be here with you today. Thank you, and have a great day.